2 months ago, Shawn Baker made a video titled "Ghost Carnivore Has a Stroke." In this video, Shawn explains that he was contacted by a man who suffered a stroke after being on the carnivore diet for a while. Obviously, Shawn tried to play down the situation by saying that many people suffer strokes each year. Now, he is absolutely correct that many people suffer strokes each year, but these people who suffer strokes and heart attacks are often on very poor diets and leading very poor lifestyles. They are not following the carnivore diet, the miraculous diet that is supposed to cure everything from autoimmune disease and IBS. Now, I never watched Shawn Baker videos, but his title captured my curiosity, so I clicked play, and after a couple of minutes of waffle, he said this.
So I would expect if a carnivore diet was causative for strokes, then I'd see about 250 people would tell me they've had strokes, and that would be just to be the baseline. So the fact that I've only heard it once out of 100,000 people shows me that it's less likely to occur.
So here Shawn was saying that he thinks around 100 to 200,000 people have done the carnivore diet to date, and based on this, he would expect to see more people coming forward saying that they had suffered from strokes or heart attacks. And to date, he had only heard of one. Now at this point I was thinking, well, not really. It takes years for disease progression to usually manifest in the body. A smoker, for example, can smoke for 30 or 40 years before they develop cancer. Not thinking any more about it, I started scrolling through the comments section of his video, and I was a little bit surprised and concerned about what I saw. And I want to read a handful of these now for you. Tina Christensen said, "My brother went on keto and had a stroke. Someone asked his doctor if keto had caused the stroke. The doctor said that strokes are 30 years of bad habits, not 6 to 12 months. Fast forward 2 years of clean keto and tons of exercise, he is stronger than ever and no meds." We will come back to some of these points shortly, but just keep in the back of your head, went on keto for 6 months and had a stroke. Doug H said, "I suffered an ischemic stroke in April, 18 months after starting keto. My son and wife said it was obviously what caused it, because that was my most recent significant lifestyle change. The road to my stroke was paved years ago when I was a carbaholic. I could and did on occasion eat a dozen donuts in a 3-hour window. I'd bake a 10-inch 2-layer frosted cake and then proceed to eat half of it. But both the speed, 3 weeks, and completeness, 100%, of my recovery stunned my MD and PT staff. I credit that to low carb. When I said I did keto, the hospital provided a keto tweak meal menu, which was very nice. I have since gone 98% carnivore, of course. So here we see again, goes keto, has a stroke." MJ Delaney said, 2.5 years into my carnivore diet, I had a heart attack and a quadruple bypass surgery. Everyone blamed my diet and said, we told you it ain't a healthy diet. I'm 62, 2.5 years of carnivore diet is responsible, ? Yeah, 58 years of crappy sad diet had nothing to do with it, ? Never mind, I lost weight, reversed my type 2, eliminated annual gout episodes, all but diminished my joint pains, etc. Stacey B said, I had a major stroke while carnivore on May the 4th, 2020. I just lost my dad on Memorial Day to a heart-related issue, and he was also carnivore and doing really well. He was a big fan of your channel. I don't blame the carnivore diet for my stroke or the loss of my dad. We had years of plant-based bullshit previous to that. He was a guinea pig for Lipitor back in the late 80s too. I don't think that I would have healed this well from the stroke if it wasn't for carnivore. My anxiety and depression is gone, and my diabetes is better. Trigs are down from 330 to 130. I'm still obese sadly even after 2+ years later, but I'm healing and that's what matters. Kathy Finisgard said, my husband had a stroke about a year into a carnivore diet. However, he was 69 and his diet for the first 68 years was the SAD. It probably won't be his last stroke as he's back to eating the same crap food he ate before. I highly doubt it was the carnivore food that triggered it, but it did happen after starting carnivore. So now you've heard of 2. Karen C said, my husband went carnivore, lost a ton of weight, never looked better, and had a massive stroke. He's been in hospital for 6 months now. Paralysed all down his right side, wheelchair bound, can't walk and barely talks. Won't work ever again, totally dependent on others. His life as he knew it is over. Daniel Abeso said, carnivore diet almost killed me as well. Been having major heart and stroke symptoms for the last 2 years. I'm 38. Meat and fruit is the best diet. Carbs are essential. Paul Saladino is the man. Marcin MD1 said, I had a stroke January 2022. Happy to discuss with you. Kathy Coe said, I had a heart attack after doing keto carnivore for a few years. The cards were already stacked against me since I am a homozygous ApoE4. Now these were just a couple of the accounts that were telling Shawn about their issues, and there were a fair few more. So it seems bizarre that Shawn says that he's only heard of a couple of people in the carnivore community suffering from a stroke. And yet 30 seconds or so in his comments section and I find a good few people who suffered from strokes or heart attacks 12 or 18 months after going keto or carnivore. Now, is this cause and effect? Absolutely not. But my question to Shawn Baker is, surely if the carnivore diet is so healthy and it gets rid of all problems from IBS, autoimmune diseases, depression, arthritis, etc., as he claims, which are all inflammation-driven diseases, then why would people on a keto or carnivore diet for 6, 12 or 18 months then suffer heart attacks or strokes? Surely if the carnivore diet fixes all of these other problems, then it should fix potential heart attack or stroke victims. If you are healing the body from IBS or joint issues, then by Shawn's own logic, this should be healing somebody's arteries at the same time. After all, inflammation is inflammation. Now, I'm being slightly facetious here, and there are many variables that drive a person's risk factors for having a heart attack or a stroke. But what concerns me more than anything about his video and his comment section is that even when people in that community are sharing their experiences with him about having heart attacks and strokes, he hasn't even got the brass neck to acknowledge what those people are saying. If I'd made a video where there were 10 to 50 people at least in my comment section saying they had had a heart attack or stroke, following my advice, then every carnivore or keto person on the globe would be losing their mind. But when a keto or carnivore suffers a heart attack or stroke, they simply did it wrong, or it was the plants that they ate before. The double standards in that community is unbelievable. Anyhow, that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out this one up here because I'm sure you'll find it equally interesting. And the only other thing that's left for me to say is to remember to look after your body because it's the only place you have to live. And I'll see you next time.